Did you know there is a tiny Australian town with fewer than 100 residents that literally bends the rules of time? It runs on a bizarre 45-minute offset found nowhere else on the planet. And that is just the beginning. There is also a stretch of road so perfectly straight it runs for 147 kilometers without the slightest bend, pushing drivers into a trance known as highway hypnosis. And wait until you hear about the colossal hidden ocean sitting beneath Australia's dry surface, an underground sea that actually spans 22% of the continent. Get ready, because I am about to hit you with 50 geography facts about Australia, so wild they'll completely reshape how you see the land down under. But before we dive into this brain-melting journey, think about this. Right now, you're standing on a continent that's drifting northeast every single year, while sitting atop one of Earth's largest underground water reserves. By the end of this video, you'll understand why Australia might be the most impossible place on Earth. Buckle up, we're about to tour a continent that will leave you speechless. Fact 1. The Great Barrier Reef. Australia's most famous natural treasure, the Great Barrier Reef, stretches 2,300 kilometers with nearly 3,000 reefs and 900 islands. It's so huge astronauts can spot it from orbit. To put that in context, if it were its own nation, it would be larger than the United Kingdom. This living wonder hosts more marine species than anywhere else on the planet. An underwater city of unimaginable scale. Fact 2. Endless coastlines. Australia's shoreline, including all its islands, measures almost 60,000 kilometers. That's enough to wrap around the Earth 1.5 times. If you tried walking it non-stop, it would take more than 3 years. No wonder beach culture is practically a national identity. Fact 3. People hug the coast. It is no coincidence Australians look like they were always ready for the beach. 87% of the population lives within 50 kilometers of the sea. The interior is vast and harsh, but the lure of ocean views and sea breezes is irresistible. Fact 4. K'gari, the sand island giant. Formerly called Fraser Island, K'gari holds the record as the world's largest sand island, stretching about 122 kilometers long. But it's not just sand. This UNESCO World Heritage Site contains lakes, rainforests, and dunes that have been forming for 700,000 years. Nature's ultimate sandbox. Fact 5. Lake Hillier's bubblegum mystery. In Western Australia, Lake Hillier is famous for its cotton candy pink color that stays vibrant all year. The unique microbes in salty water give it that surreal hue. No filter needed, just pure natural magic. Fact 6. The Great Artesian Basin. Covering 22% of the continent, this underground aquifer is one of the world's largest hidden water systems. It nourishes remote springs and has supported life in the outback for millions of years. Beneath the driest continent lies one of the greatest water reserves on Earth. Fact 7. Hutt Lagoon's Instagram stardom. Another pink lake, Hutt Lagoon, is so vivid it's become a global photography hotspot. Its shade shifts throughout the day, turning the lake into a living art installation designed by nature long before social media existed. Fact 8. The Dingo Fence. At 5,600 kilometers long, Australia's Dingo Fence is among the longest man-made barriers in the world. So big it can be seen from space. Built to keep dingoes away from sheep, it's longer than the distance between New York and Los Angeles. Maintaining it is a logistical nightmare. Fact 9. The Nullarbor Plain. This limestone expanse is the world's largest single piece of rock. The name comes from Latin, no trees. Standing in the middle of its barren horizon feels like reaching the edge of the world. Fact 10. The 90-mile Strait. On the Air Highway lies Australia's longest straight road, 146.6 kilometers without a single turn. That's nearly 3 hours of perfectly straight driving. Some travelers experience highway hypnosis from the monotony. Fact 11. A railway with no curves. The Trans-Australian Railway runs dead straight for 478 kilometers. Imagine riding a train that doesn't turn left or right for hours. It is like gliding through a geometry textbook. Fact 12. Lake Eyre's transformation. At 15 meters below sea level, Lake Eyre is Australia's lowest point, usually a blinding salt flat. But after rare floods, it becomes the continent's largest lake. In May 2025, dramatic flooding turned it into an inland sea that captured the world's attention, with flocks of birds arriving overnight. Fact 13. Eucla's odd time zone. This tiny settlement runs on UTC Plums 845, 45 minutes ahead of Western Australia, but 45 minutes behind South Australia. Scheduling anything across this sliver of land is brain-twisting. Fact 14. Lord Howe Island's half-hour twist. Normally UTC Pleasant 10:30, the island shifts only 30 minutes forward during daylight savings, creating the world's only Pleasant 11:30 time zone. Imagine explaining that in an international Zoom call. Fact 15. Rowley Shoals and climate change. These coral atolls became a global focus in 2025 when severe bleaching events hit them hard. Despite threats, they remain some of Earth's most pristine reef systems. Fact 16. Derby's massive tides. On the northwest coast, tides reach nearly 11 meters, like a 3-story building rising and falling every day. The mudflats stretch for kilometers, reshaping the land twice daily. Fact 17. Horizontal falls. In the Kimberley region, tidal currents squeeze through rocky gaps, creating waterfalls that flow sideways. Sir David Attenborough once called it one of the world's greatest natural wonders. Fact 18. Bunda Cliffs. Stretching endlessly along the Great Australian Bight, these towering limestone walls form one of the world's longest sea cliffs. Standing here feels like standing at the edge of Earth. Fact 19. The world's driest inhabited continent. Australia takes the crown. Only Antarctica is technically drier, but nobody lives there permanently. Harsh interior deserts contrast sharply with lush coastal cities. Fact 20. The Great Dividing Range. Running 3,500 kilometers, this mountain chain is Australia's geological backbone, shaping weather, rivers, and ecosystems along the entire east coast. Fact 21. Mount Kosciuszko. At 2,228 meters, it's mainland Australia's tallest peak. Often snow-covered in winter, it anchors a ski industry that surprises visitors who think Australia is all beaches. Fact 22. The Murray-Darling Basin. Covering 1/7 of the continent, this river system is Australia's agricultural lifeline. It feeds farms, shapes weather, and sustains millions of people. Fact 23. How lake air fills. Water travels over 1,000 kilometers from rivers in Queensland before reaching the lake. The whole process can take years, making each filling a rare spectacle. Fact 24. Shark Bay's living fossils. Here, stromatolites, microbial mats dating back 3.5 billion years, still thrive. They're living windows into Earth's earliest ecosystems. Fact 25. The Daintree Rainforest. Older than the Amazon, this ancient rainforest survived ice ages and continental drift. Walking its trails is like stepping into prehistory. Fact 26. The Moving Continent. Australia drifts northeast at 6 to 7 centimeters per year, faster than your fingernails grow. GPS systems have to keep updating because the land won't stay still. Fact 27. Simpson Desert's perfect dunes. Some of the world's longest parallel dunes stretch over 1,100 kilometers. From above, they look hand-drawn with a ruler. Fact 28. The Great Victoria Desert. At 348,000 square kilometers, it's bigger than Germany. Despite harshness, Aboriginal communities have thrived here for millennia. Fact 29. Ningaloo Reef. Less famous than the Great Barrier Reef, this fringing reef lets snorkelers swim alongside whale sharks just meters from shore. Fact 30. Blue Mountains. Near Sydney, sandstone cliffs and slot canyons fill a vast World Heritage area. The blue haze comes from eucalyptus oil evaporating into the air. Fact 31. The 12 Apostles. These iconic limestone stacks are constantly changing as old formations collapse and new ones emerge. Nature's ever-changing art gallery. Fact 32. Cape York. Only 150 kilometers from Papua New Guinea, it's the northern tip of Australia and a historic site of cultural exchange. Fact 33. Arnhem Land and Kakadu. These regions transform dramatically with the seasons. Wet season floods create vast inland seas, while the dry reveals rocky escarpments and billabongs. Fact 34. Tasmania. This island state packs in alpine peaks, glacial lakes, and even coral reefs. In one day, you can drive through 4 different climate zones. Fact 35. The Bungle Bungles. In Pernululu National Park, striped sandstone domes rise like giant beehives, formations millions of years in the making. Fact 36. Wave Rock. Near Haydn, a granite cliff has eroded into a perfect frozen wave, complete with streaks that resemble water in motion. Fact 37. Uluru and Katachuta. Rising dramatically from the outback, these sacred monoliths are both geological marvels and cultural treasures. Fact 38. Mount Augustus. Often called bigger than Uluru, it sparks debate among Australians over which is the true giant rock. Fact 39. Vast cave networks. The Nullarbor and Eastern Coast regions hide labyrinths of underground passages, rivers, and chambers, whole worlds beneath the surface. Fact 40. Kangaroo Island. Wildlife roams free here. Kangaroos, koalas, and echidnas in landscapes that shift from beaches to forests. Fact 41. The Great Ocean Road. Built by returning WWI soldiers, this coastal highway doubles as a war memorial and one of the world's most scenic drives. Fact 42. The Pinnacles. Thousands of limestone spires rise from golden dunes, creating a desert that looks like an alien planet. Fact 43. The Australian Alps. These mountains receive surprising snowfall, fueling a ski industry that thrives alongside beach culture. Fact 44. Salt Lake Mirrors. After rain, South Australia's salt pans transform into perfect mirrors, reflecting sky so flawlessly that visitors feel like they're floating. Fact 45. Perth's isolation. This city is closer to Jakarta than Sydney, shaping a culture that feels as connected to Asia as it does to the rest of Australia. Fact 46. The Great Southern Reef. Stretching along southern Australia, this massive kelp forest supports unique marine life and rivals the richness of rainforests. Fact 47. The Great Sandy Strait. Between Kagari and the mainland lies a maze of mangroves, seagrass, and tidal channels, nature's shifting water puzzle. Fact 48. Montgomery Reef. At low tide, this reef rises out of the ocean, creating waterfalls cascading back into the sea. It's like watching the ocean breathe. Fact 49. A changing coastline. Satellites constantly track erosion and accretion along Australia's shores, showing a continent that is literally reshaping itself in real time. And there you have it. 50 mind-bending geography facts proving Australia is a living, changing wonderland. Which blew your mind more? The lakes that glow pink or the waterfalls that flow sideways? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if this shifted how you see Australia forever, hit that like button and subscribe for more geography that will leave you amazed. Because if you think Australia is wild, just wait until you see what other countries are hiding. Until next time, keep exploring.